In a quiet town where everyone knew each other by name, the arrival of a new student became the talk of the school. Marco Salvatore, the son of a local restaurant owner, had always fit right in, until Kai Okafo, a black teenager from Nigeria, walked into his classroom. Kai's family had moved here after his father, a talented musician, was denied a spot in the town's orchestra for reasons no one dared to say out loud. The first few weeks were brutal. Kai ate lunch alone, endured whispers in the hallways, and watched as teachers accidentally skipped over him during roll call. Some kids even laughed when he spoke, mocking his accent. Marco never joined in, but he never spoke up either. It was easier to stay silent. Then came the music assignment. Their teacher paired them up for a duet performance. At first, rehearsals were tense, until Kai suggested blending Italian folk music with West African rhythms. Marco hesitated, but when Kai played the first few notes on his djembe, something clicked. Music became their language. Marco learned that Kai could play 6 instruments, loved jazz, and dreamed of opening a music school back home. Kai, in turn, discovered that Marco was a gifted violinist who secretly hated the idea of taking over his father's restaurant. But the closer they grew, the uglier the backlash became. Marco's father called Kai a distraction. Classmates sneered when they walked down the hall together. Then one day, the school bully, Luca, smashed Kai's guitar against the lockers, snarling, "Go back to the jungle!" The breaking point came at the winter concert. As Kai stepped on stage, a chorus of boos erupted from the audience. Marco's hands clenched into fists. When someone threw a crumpled paper at Kai, Marco jumped up and shouted, "Shut up and listen! He's 10 times the musician any of you will ever be." A fight broke out. The principal punished both boys equally, to keep the peace. The next morning, Kai's seat was empty. A week later, Marco heard his family had left town. His father found work elsewhere. The only goodbye was a note slipped into Marco's locker. "Thanks for trying." But some songs aren't meant to be finished. Years passed. Marco defied his father, left for music school, and eventually returned as a teacher. On the first day of class, he played an old recording, their unfinished duet. The room fell silent as Kai's djembe filled the air. "We never got to finish this," Marco said, because back then, people cared more about where someone was from than what they could create. But music doesn't see color. Maybe we should try listening like that too. After class, a lanky freshman with braids lingered. "Mr. Salvatore, could we finish that song?" For the first time in years, Marco smiled. That night, he dug out Kai's note and added a single line at the bottom. Maybe some songs just need more time. This story isn't about a duet. It's about the notes we never play because we're too afraid to be out of tune with the crowd. Share it. You might help someone find their rhythm.